Hi guys, I'm Madeleine Harvey, and thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and welcome to Sing with Power Part 2. So I want to take a quick second and just review what we talked about in our first video. That way you can see how the first video and the second video are friends, and they build off of each other. In our first video, we explored the acoustics of vocal power. We said that it's what naturally happens when your body is open and your breath is free and responsive. So really picture it as being the same as any law of physics. When movement is activated in your body and there's no tightness or tension that's ever introduced to slow that movement down, then what naturally happens is that movement generates momentum. And the more momentum you have, the more power you have. You see? So our video today, we're going to get deep into the experience once again, and we're going to strengthen the muscles that govern the singing process. This is going to give you more clarity, more range, and of course, more power. So if you like today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button below. I would love to see you here more often. Oh, I almost forgot. If you are hungry to gobble up more vocal goodies, I have 14 hours worth of downloadable audio lessons available at my website at madeleineharvey.com. So be sure to check it out. I will leave a link in the description below for you. You ready to get started? Here we go. So today we're going to increase our power and decrease our strain at the same time. And the best way to feel this is to take your hand, place it right here on your throat, and just take a couple of breaths and see if you can register the sensation that it's hollow on the inside of your throat. Go ahead and feel that. We're going to feel a lot of stuff today, so this is a great place to start. Good, good. Now I want you to sort of hold back a laugh, like you're waiting for your friend to tell you a joke and the laugh is coming. So you feel that little stretch, almost like a yawn happening in the back of the throat, just opening the back just a little. Yeah, very good. Very, very good. Now hold that thought. Hold it right there. Now give me a nice low note on a ga sound. So smile. Ga. Very, very, very good. So this feeling that we're sort of holding the throat ever so slightly open, I really want to emphasize that. We're just holding it open ever so slightly, and then giving that ga sound gives us both space and a really, really refined chord closure. So let's jump from there. So our hand is back here. We've got our smile going on. Like selfie. Very good. Very, very good. And then we've got our ga. Now we may have to use our imagination to feel that this lower note, ga, almost sort of leans to the front of the neck. I want you to imagine that that low note is like coming to the front of the neck, almost to touch your fingers. So if we were to do it again, ga. Yeah. Can feel that. One more time. Selfie. Good, 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 good. Awesome. So if we can feel that low notes come forward, where do high notes go? Directly behind it. And this is really what we're going to feel today. We are no longer going to think that high notes go this way. They go that way. Especially, as the chords relate to them, they do. So assume the position. Here we go. Selfie. Ga. Here we go. Ga. Good. Can you feel that although those pitches were really close together, one was forward and then another was directly behind that? It works in the same way as a rubber band. So without getting into too much detail about the laryngeal muscles today, let's just pretend, let's see it this way, that a low note engage, right? So we engage that lower note muscle And then when we pull the cords back, let's imagine that we pull it back, just like a rubber band. We engage a different muscle that does the pulling. And this gives us this beautiful extension, right? It's like a lovely chord tension. So if we were to go, we could at least feel that forward and back movement with things. So that is a lot of how it works, folks. So the high notes are not up. Their low notes are forward, high notes are backwards. So let's put this into an exercise, shall we? So remember what we were just saying about that rubber band feeling. We're going to feel this in an exercise. And we really want to feel that we are pulling the higher note back and then slowly letting it go. Pulling it back, slowly letting it go. So we're going to play with notes that are very close together. And this is called an interval. So here we go. We're going to go. So try to move through that 1 and 2 as slowly as you can. That way you can gain a lot more control over that movement. You ready? On a ga, here we go. Nice and controlled. Pull it back. Let it go. Pull it back. As much as you can. Just feel that movement. So we do notice that we're in a very different place than when we first started. It feels different. So what we have noticed is that when we first started, we have a slightly contracted lower feel to the sound. Ga, remember, it comes forward to the front of the neck in our imaginations. Now, as we go through the scale, through our range, we're getting a slightly elongated, stretched start, right? So it is going to feel as if the very first note is a little bit thinner. So I want you to really feel that smile, ga, and keep it as light as you possibly can. That way you can really feel that refined pull back without carrying too much weight around on the sound. So let's try that here. Here we go. Ga. So again, right here is a much different place than where we first began. So again, we're feeling that slight stretch on the very first note. And remember how we talked about it earlier. A really good way to feel that is to feel that you're holding back a smile, like selfie, or that you're slightly yawning. This will employ the tiniest of almost like a gag reflex to create that open space for those chords to stretch within. So let's go ahead and feel a little bit of a yawn. Feels a little bit easier than a more neutral neck, which gives us like not enough space to navigate within. So let's continue. Open it up, yawn or smile. And meanwhile, nothing's going up. We should not have a high larynx placement because, again, we're getting so good at feeling that employment of that muscle and then the pull behind it. So let's take this back down. Here we go. Concentrate right here. Keep your throat nice and open. Nice little stretch. Selfie. So now we feel the reverse, don't we? We feel that we came down from a nice higher note, and now we're feeling a slow, controlled contraction as we descend in pitch. So we're sort of in a neutral to a contracted state here. But of course I'm feeling that happen like this, but here we go. More. That was fun. I like that a lot. I really, really like that because, again, that little bit of movement between 1 and 2, 1 and 2 can give such a sense of refinement and, conditioning for control with the voice. But of course, not the type of control where we stress out about it, but the type of really focused precision. That's the word I'm looking for, precision. So there you have it, friends. And I just want to say that while you're practicing with this exercise, the point is to keep the sound as it is right now, as light as we possibly can, because we are really feeling how to target those laryngeal muscles without the use of excess air, excess help from surrounding muscles. So let it sort of flutter a little bit. As long as you're feeling that it's nice and open, hollow, you feel that slight stretch. You can imagine that as a yawn or as a smile. And then again, you feel that forward and back, forward and back. This is going to give you so much clarity, range, and obviously vocal power. But one more message for you. As if you come across a place in your voice where your higher note sort of shakes as you go back, that's okay. You're making that muscle stronger. You're making that muscle so much more stronger as you pull it back. So linger. See if you can play around areas of your range where you know your muscles are a little weak. And this will give you the benefit of so much smoothness through those transitions. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click that subscribe button below. I would love to see you here more often. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Bye!